maybe you want to start a new career, maybe you want a new job, whatever it is never too late to change things. Like, I don't know where in society we feel like we've got to pick our career and stick with it and that's it. But like, if you're unhappy where you're at, change it. And it's never too late. Hi guys, welcome back to Faith Over Comfort. We are so grateful that you are here with us. Happy Monday if you're listening to it the day it drops. But other than that, happy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday,
happy
Sunday.
February. Happy second month of the year.
We're officially in February. I love February because I feel like we're just on the brink of spring at this point. And it's just kind of a girly month.
We're different. Justine, I think the other day said we're a high functioning family. We just hit the ground running. Like when we wake up, we just go. And so it was about the middle of January when it was still cold, when it was still, 40 degrees, 30 degrees, which is nothing to what the country is going through right now.
Definitely not 30 in the mornings.
In the morning,
Okay.
where that's the coldest that it's getting. And I think the warmest it's getting is like 60s ish.
It's like overcast.
Yeah. And we're over. We've been over winter for a while. We're ready to clean stuff out.
I feel like we've talked about this a little bit on every episode in January.
You know what we care about because we talk about it.
I am ready to feel the sun on my skin.
The California sun, baby. Give us earthquakes.
And it's sunny today, but that feeling when it's like it's warm and the sun's on your skin, like you feel like, I don't know, like you feel the sun on your skin. That's what I'm ready for. Yeah.
California probs.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the rest of the country is having like ice storms. We watched a TikTok the other day and it was this girl and she was like trekking through the snow.
At Notre Dame?
At Notre Dame.
Yeah.
If you're on TikTok, I'm sure you've come across it, but she's like, please cancel class. And there were actual snowballs coming from the sky. I'm like, we don't even know.
Couldn't even fathom it.
We have no idea. Tom used to say, like, this was a long time ago before we even had kids. He used to say that he wanted to live in somewhere like South Dakota so that he could. He wanted to live in the snow. And I'm like, I don't feel like we understand the level of like, I'm like, do you really want to shovel your car out from the snow every day for work? Because places like that don't cancel things.
Yeah.
We have friends who live in Texas and they recently got snow and like everything was shut down.
Yeah.
Because it's not normal there, like not super common there.
We're uncomfortable with a fog delay.
Yeah. I'm like, that's nice to get it occasionally. So everything's shut down. You have to stay in. But that is a way of life for some people. School keeps going.
Yeah.
Work keeps going. I do not want to shovel my car out. No, thank you.
I've grown up since then. I no longer desire to have that.
Say that. The reality.
Because then think about
like trekking kids. Like
I also used to not like country music though.
It's true.
I used to not like country music.
I love
and I think back on it and that's ignorance. Okay.
Yeah.
That's naive. I was being naive.
This is a great segue into what we're talking about today.
Yeah. Well, hey, I love Garth Brooks, Brooks and Dunn, Shania. What's her name?
Oh, you're going like 90s country.
That's when I grew up.
Dixie Chicks.
Hard pass.
Love.
Obviously Shania Twain. And what was her? No, not her husband. Faith Hill and her husband, McGraw.
Are you saying Tim McGraw?
Tim McGraw.
You're saying you did or you didn't
all
like
of
these
that.
people?
That's all my history growing up, and I loved it. But then
then what happened?
I hit an age in my life where it wasn't cool.
Oh.
And I was like, kind of stick it to the man.
I just think country is timeless.
At such a terrible point in my life right now because the Crystal Palace is shut down. Like they got rid of the Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
If it was popping.
Did they?
Yeah, it's done.
For reals?
I know, isn't it? Yep.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
End of an era. Yeah. Not like we
Hold on.
went
What'd you just say? What'd you say? The end of a what?
Era.
Oh, I thought you said end of an arrow.
Okay. Let's call me out. I could have.
Play it back.
No, I said era.
You wish.
I love how like sad it is to us, but we quite literally never went there.
No.
I think we went twice in all the years we've been together.
4 in my life.
I feel like I have a very vague memory of being a very young girl. I don't know how old, but I was young. Like it was one of those like first like a memory that I have like early on. And I was there. Why are you laughing?
Yeah, it's just funny. You emphasize how young you were.
What are you drinking? Oh, I know.
Doc
Pop.
From Poppy. Tom, why aren't you going? Why, Tom? Why aren't you going the route of
Blue
Blue Bottle? You guys, the winter was rough. I drank so much coffee and so much caffeine in general, but just coffee alone.
You guys, Tom drinks an insane amount of coffee every day.
Well,
he would
when
drink
you've got
more.
a non-sponsor like Blue Bottle, you know. No, actually, we've been doing a lot of local drinks too.
Yeah, but he can drink coffee anytime, anywhere.
Hot, iced.
And still go to sleep at night. Unfazed.
Yeah. Well, I seem to be asleep. My mind is pew, 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 pew.
No, you go to sleep. Are you kidding me?
You
can sleep anywhere.
I can. With whatever I'm wearing.
Yeah, that's something I've never been able to understand. Tom would like come home when he used to work at the church, and he'd come home exhausted and just literally like lay on the couch or lay on the bed with like belt, boots, jeans, everything on and sleep. And I'm like, no way. I need to get in full cozies before.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I do when I get home from anywhere. I change.
Yeah. There's probably a study to be done on my brain to find out how somebody can do that.
I wonder how many men are like that.
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
Probably a good amount. Probably the majority.
Well, we're just chit-chatting. I forgot we have a topic today.
We got a topic today. What's the topic today, Justine? Walk us through this.
So our topic today is kind of different. I wanted to do something a little different, but...
Tell them why you want to do something different. Tell them why.
Did I have a reason?
It's what you told me. Maybe it was just
I just wanted to do... No, I just wanted to be a little bit more outside of the box and like not be repetitive. Just do something a little different. Is that what I said to you?
In so many words, yes. Guys, last week's episode, if you haven't listened to it, it was basically about following God, which we had some awesome responses for.
We had a lot of really good responses.
Yeah, we did. We had some people commenting on our YouTube channel, and we had some people commenting through the Spotify episode as well, and which again, we appreciate it. But so then on that vein, I was like, Justine, do you want to talk about the church and how the church should operate? Because I'm the kind of person that like I live for that kind of stuff. Like, let's talk about the church. Let's talk about, theology. Let's talk about doctrine. How did we get here? Yeah, I'm losing her right now as we're talking about it. And I think when I brought the topic up, she was like, yeah, or we could also talk about something a little more lighthearted, and we could talk about what today's topic is about. And I was like, yeah, because you don't want to go too heavy, multiple episodes in a row, necessarily.
Because I also have to remind myself there's people listening that love that kind of stuff, like doctrine and
I've got to remember,
I
got to remember there's people like you too.
That's why Tom and I pair so well, because we are very different. We were just talking to a friend about that this weekend, about like the podcast and how different both of us are, and that we like balance each other very well.
Yeah. Was it the birthday party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so anyways, our topic today is things that we would do differently.
Yeah.
If we were to do it all over again. Which I think will be kind of fun. There might be some serious ones. There might be some more like funny ones, but I don't even know all of yours.
Yeah.
So this will be fun.
And I don't know yours either. And the reason why something like this is also important is we love our life. We really, really do.
Everything plays out how it's meant to.
And we do know that at the end of the day, we wouldn't be where we're at if we didn't go through the things that we went through.
Yeah.
But kind of just for anybody out there, like if you're looking for advice, or maybe just, hey, what did you guys do in this moment? If you're new to Faith Over Comfort podcast, we are people who believe in Jesus. We follow Jesus, and we do some days look better than others, and we do the best that we can to stay in the Word, to do what God's telling us to do. And we wouldn't trade that for anything. However, how did we get here? Well, we went through some stuff.
Yeah.
There's some ups and some downs, and some prayers answered and not. And now, with what we've lived through, what we've seen, we just got done talking about my ignorance with country music.
Yeah.
I don't know why I used to talk like that. There's a lot of things that I'm really embarrassed to say that I've done, especially as like,
I think
oh,
everybody
gosh,
feels that way.
a youth pastor for sure. I don't even recognize that, man. Wild, the things that I would do. So yeah, that's why we're talking about this subject, and hopefully you can get something from it that maybe wisdom is to learn from other people's mistakes. Maybe you learn from what we're saying and that helps you, or maybe you can relate and you're like, dang, dude, I didn't know. I thought I was the only one who went through that. Hopefully we're here to help you.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? Like, we're old enough, like we've been married long enough, and we're old enough to be the people that are like, listen, hear from us.
Yeah, hear from us. Country music isn't
Let
that
us give you our wisdom.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Do you guys ever really
Oh.
quick, do you ever like, just like kind of have a thought like, holy crap, I'm a mother of 3 children?
Yes. But I think about being a dad, not being a mother. But yeah.
Man, I spit a little bit on that one.
Dude, you guys, that's a little fun fact about Justine's. Saliva comes out of her mouth accidentally pretty often.
It's unfortunate.
And it happens to our kids. Our
I
kids
drool
do
a
it
lot.
too.
I don't know what comes over me.
I don't know. Maybe you're thinking of food or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is crazy sometimes how you can be somebody who kind of takes yourself out of the moment and goes, holy cow, I got 3 kids. I'm married.
How did I get here?
Some people,
No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, like some people take me serious. This is wild.
I know.
And I think that's why it's important, regardless of what kind of person you are, however high up you have got in your career, you got to have some people you can laugh with. I know for a fact there's some people in my life that I am the jester, the joke, the goofball.
Gosh, yeah.
I am that for them. And I think it lets them kind of drop their guard a little bit, and it lets them kind of goof around me, which I love,
For sure.
So, okay. So let's start with you, Justine.
Okay.
Ladies first.
I have a list. Where should I start? I
Anywhere
would
you
say that this is one Tom and I have talked a lot about over the years, but I wish I wouldn't have rushed anything. Like, I wish I wouldn't have rushed our season of dating. I wish I wouldn't have rushed jumping into being parents, rushed,
Do you want to let them know like the time frames you're talking about? Like how long were we engaged?
Yeah.
Married, all that stuff.
And again, I want to say we do not regret. I don't regret anything. I think that everything, like the way that our life played out, was exactly how it was meant to. But I think that now being older, I realize that there's just something that's so special and sacred about the certain seasons of your life. So Tom and I dated for 2 years before we got married. We got engaged at like 1.5 years. And I remember like when we were dating, it was just, like I look back on it, I'm like, it's so fun. Like there's something that's so fun about dating. Like there's excitement and you're learning this new person and you're figuring out if like this is who you want to spend the rest of your life with. And it's just you miss each other because you don't, like, you go your separate ways and you guys still have like your own lives. And I don't know. I just think that there's something so sweet about it. But like when we were dating, I was so obsessed with like, when is he going to engage? I want to be married. I want to be married. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was so obsessed with that like sometimes I feel like I didn't just enjoy that season. And then even same with being engaged, like you're like beginning to plan your life out with this person. It's so exciting, which I do remember like really enjoying being engaged. And I remember like planning our wedding. Like there was just so many things like I just didn't care about because I was just so excited to be married to you. And I do think that that's how it should be. But and then also being married. Like once we got married, it was like I just feel like I don't know if this is the area that we live in. I think times are kind of changing and people are like waiting a little bit longer to do certain things. But like in our town, I feel like it's very it's like what's next, you know what I think that we're like that as a culture in general, but like I feel like it's very common in our town too. It's like you get married, you have kids, like people tend to have kids a little bit younger,
especially in Christian communities though.
Yes,
too.
and I think that that is common in Christian communities, and you just have all these people like it's always the next thing. And I think that people mean well when they ask it. Like I know there's a lot of people that get like offended by like certain questions that people ask. I do think that people mean well. Like they don't always have like the wrong intentions, but people are always asking like it's like you're dating and then it's like, so when are you guys going to get engaged? And then you get engaged, so when are you getting married? And then you get married and it's like when you're going to have kids. Then you have one kid and it's when you're going to have the next kid. And then you have two kids, are you going to have three? And now what are we always asked? Are you guys done?
Oh, yeah,
After
yeah.
3. And I don't think people mean any wrong by it, but like it gets you kind of like always thinking about what's next.
Yeah.
So
and so we one of the things that we did talk about in regards to episodes, you guys let us know in the comment section. We were going to have we're talking about having an episode about hot takes.
yeah.
And this would probably be one of those hot takes.
I thought that as I was saying it.
Yeah, I know. I could tell.
I was all noted.
Yeah. So let us know if you want us to do like some hot takes too, because
I'm a little scared to do that one.
Dude, I'm so
I think
ready.
it'd be so good, but that's what scares me. You scare me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying it's my opinion. But yeah, okay. So yes, everything that you said, I would agree with what you're saying in regards to one of my, if I had to do it over. But it's not. It's typically my safe answer when it comes to when I'm talking to people and they're getting married or maybe they're about to have kids or whatever. There was something that I do think that we missed out on in just being with each other married. This is maybe people can read between the lines of what I'm talking about. There's, you get to when you're dating, there's still limitations, right? It's like, okay, goodbye, go live where you're living, depending on how young you are, you're either living with your parents or you're living in your own apartment or whatever. And so there's always that separation. So there's always that time limit that you get to have. It's so crazy too, because now like Justin and I can't stay up to watch a TV show or a movie past like 10 o'clock to save our lives. It's wild. We're not going to share that story that happened recently. But it's just like you fight to stay alive. But back in the day, we would stay so late.
Yeah.
And so there was always that limitation.
I didn't give a rip
Yeah.
what time I had to be up in the morning.
Yeah. And I always did, but I still tuckered it. And it's really one of those things where then once you're married, well, now there are no limitations. And so and you get to learn about getting your banks, your accounts together, and everything's now yours and hers. And so you're gonna learn to fight with each other. So learning how to fight with each other, learning how to do all these things, we just really didn't give ourselves enough time. And I do think that is something that's really important, because once you start throwing kids into it, and now not only are you a new husband or a new wife, but now, depending on that time frame, you're now a new dad and a new mom. And so that was something that it would have been nice for us to maybe have a better grasp of how to be a husband and a wife.
And I think that it goes back to everybody is different. Like there's some people who date longer, so then they get married and they're kind of ready to jump into that season of being parents, or, everybody's situation is going to look different. But Tom and I got married, and within the year, like it was like the month of our anniversary, we found out we were pregnant with Scarlett. And before that, I had a miscarriage a few months earlier. So we had been through like it was there was a lot that was going on, I guess you could say, in that year. But yeah, I just wish that because something like that Tom and I will talk about is we've almost, like, as a married couple, we've never known what it's like to not worry about another little human being. Like, we've never been able to, like, take a trip without worrying about it. Why are you laughing?
I'm excited to go. It's good. Where you're going? Because are you going to bring up the dog? Is that what you're talking about?
No, no.
What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about kids.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and I'm just saying, like, we have talked before that, like, we will for the rest of our lives, like, leaving town, even when we have grown adult children, we will worry about them when we're gone, or vice versa. We'll worry about them as they go.
Yeah.
And so I do think that becoming parents, like with every kid that we've had, I feel like I've grown closer to Tom. And being parents has been the best thing that we've ever experienced together. We love it so, so much. But sometimes I do wonder, like, what would it have been like for it to just be me and you for a while?
For a while. Yeah. And what I was talking about, which I know you know, I'm just going to fill them in, is there was a moment, was it after the miscarriage that we got that dumb dog?
I can't remember.
I don't know.
So. Yeah, I think so.
I remember. So we have this amazing German Shepherd. Her name's Jada. Well, she was like a little teenage dog at the time. And
you guys, this is really one, like, if I could go back,
yeah,
I would not do. This was one of those, like, I look back and I'm just like, that was the dumbest thing.
It was. We got a dumb dog named Harlow, and it was a dog that was the runt of the litter. It was a Mastiff dog. Super cute, though.
She was outside of Trader Joe's being sold.
Yeah, with
we
a couple
probably got ripped off, too.
I don't know. It was like $1 billion
You guys,
or
let
something.
me just paint the picture for you for a minute. First of all, we were living on one little income, because I was in school, and we were living in a little 1-bedroom house.
It was a beautiful shoebox.
Yes, beautiful shoebox. We had no business spending $400 on this random dog.
Is that what we spent?
Yes. How? We were so broke back then.
I don't know.
I'm like, how did we do that?
Infatuation with each other. I don't know.
And we did it, and we don't need to get into this. Many people in our lives know this story, but long story short, we didn't know that female dogs don't do well together.
Yeah.
And so got the 2 dogs together. Well, then I ended up getting pregnant, and I think that caused some type of, like, protection, and our dogs started to go at it. And we tried so hard to, like, separate them and do all this stuff, but the final straw was they fought, and Tom, of course, wasn't home. I had to put my body over Scarlett to protect her as they, like, went at it over me.
And the dog was not even that big. Again, it was the runt, so it was the dwarf.
Yeah, it was so hard. And so we ended up I got to make this known so we don't get any hate. We rehomed her to an incredible home. They honestly treat her like a queen. I still see her come up. Like, I follow the girl on Instagram. They treat her like a queen. She's actually had some, like, health problems over the years, and they, like, take her down to, like, UCLA vets, I guess. Like, she is treated like an absolute queen. So she ended up in the right place, and our home just wasn't the right fit for her. But
that was just one of those things you just got that impulsive buy or whatever it was. Yeah. And we don't, that's okay.
So moral of the story is don't buy the dog.
Yeah. Look long and hard for the dog that you want.
Yeah. Do your research about personalities. Like,
how much they drool, the hair, all that stuff.
All of it.
We did none of that. We went to Trader Joe's and saw a dog. I think you saw it and you're like, go check it out. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah, so that's one.
I would never do that now. I'm not really the biggest dog person anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so.
But then I say that, but I'm the one that's like, maybe we should keep this cat. Yeah. When the cat showed up on our door.
Gosh, no comment there. Okay, one of mine, if I could do it over, I'm gonna capitalize on the youth pastor route. And I think it's important. I'm gonna try to not beat myself up too much over it, but I think I had just a little bit of a too much of a I guess you could kind of call it like a savior complex. Not that I was going to be the savior, but I was like, you guys, this is what you have to do. You have to do this because this is the life that you
Like
want
the
to live.
intensity.
Yeah, and I kind of just I thought that if I raised the bar, that they would all want to raise the bar. And I think it's important that those that, maybe they're called to youth ministry or maybe they're interested in getting involved in youth ministry, like you got to remember that they're still kids. And even, I mean, some of the most die-hard followers of Jesus Christ that I've ever seen as teenagers still went out and did some worldly things. And it just happens. They get caught up in it. And I didn't know then. What I know now is that they just need a safe place that will love them and not encourage them to keep living the life that they're living, but when they make that mistake, that they can receive that grace and know that it's there for them. Because I feel like everybody beats themselves up pretty good. They don't need an outside source to beat them up. They're still kids I can see in my mind and names that I can remember that I go, I wish I had your contact information right now. I wish I could call you and just apologize, just because I thought that I could be a little hard on you and you would rise to that challenge.
That's crazy because I don't remember ever feeling like you were like that. Maybe intense, yeah, but like you had the right heart behind it.
Yeah, but did they know that?
Yeah, true. I know you.
And I do know that there were some kids that even questioned me one time, and one kid in particular was like, "Hey, you don't like the Bible that much, right?" And I was like, "What? No, I love the Bible. Why'd you say that?" "Oh, well, because one time you said a message where like the Bible wasn't that important, or whatever." And I was like, in that moment, I realized I must have communicated my point wrong, and just being a little bit more. What I imagined I did was like emphasize the relationship with God rather than reading a book. Like the book should get you further into the relationship with God, but like don't forget it's about a relationship or something. And she must have just interpreted it as like, oh, I guess this guy doesn't like the Bible. And that.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're kids. They're kids. So,
But also, I feel like this is one of those moments where, everyone's living life for the first time.
yeah.
We put people on a pedestal, or we just forget that people that are older than us are living a life for the first time. Like they're
Yeah.
figuring it out too. It's all new to them too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I think about that often because you just kind of forget that. You know that you're figuring out life and you're entering new seasons, but other people are too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
All right. What's yours?
hold on, let me look at my list.
Do you have a lot?
Kinda, but I told you I was just gonna decide.
I know, like just like 5 or 6, or you were looking like 20, 30?
Oh no, like 6.
Okay, good.
I would say I wish I would have earlier on stopped caring about what other people think about me. And not that I don't care now, because I do, but I'm very aware of that insecurity and I fight it immediately. And I just think I look back and I feel like I've made too many decisions based off of what other people thought. And I just wouldn't do that. Sometimes I think like, what opportunities, what friendships, what moments did I miss out on because I wanted to please someone else, or I was worried about what other people were going to think. Like obviously, especially in high school, like don't even get me wrong. I could do a whole podcast series on what I wish I would have done differently in high school. But even like going into adult years and stuff, like I just feel like I cared too much about what people thought, their opinions of me, but also wanting to please people. And I just wish that I would have drawn the line earlier on in my life.
And I would say something kind of similar. this is not a dig towards anybody that was older than me in my life, or, especially my parents. I try to remember where I got a lot of my, I guess, my way of thinking. Like, I had great parents, but why did I think the way that I did? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter is somebody that I can study, because I was so adamant about certain things, but I still feel like I was manipulated by society, and
Mm-hmm.
friendships and stuff to a certain extent. I don't like how much I tried to go after things that the world told me was important.
Yeah.
Um, I don't like how I thought that I needed to date. My mom told me that, like, I had a freaking, like, girlfriend in, like, in preschool. I had,
Mm-hmm.
like, two twin chicks, and I'm like, where does that come from? Is that like Disney? Like, I'm seeing too many princesses and
I think
princes.
so. That's what everybody says about Disney.
Yeah, like, so
That they're
I
well, I don't want to say training, what's grooming you like
sure.
at a young age.
And you could also make the argument though, like, well, don't you want what your parents have? Because you see, like,
True.
your mom and dad. So, I mean, when I was in junior high, I remember going down to the movie theaters, and everyone was going with their boyfriends and their girlfriends, and it was all
Mm-hmm.
this stuff. And, like, when you really break it down, like, what are you doing at that age? What's the point of a boyfriend or a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't I have those conversations with my mom, my dad, or did I? Um, I think that, you have these expectations put on you from movies or TV shows. And I just wish that I wish I had people that kind of held me accountable, is really what it is. Because I remember in high school, there was a teacher that kind of called me on some stuff, and I had respect for that teacher, because I was like, dude, that's kind of like what I'm underlining, like, want, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And I like being able to rise to a challenge that's set before me, regardless of how much I like it in the moment. And I just really wish that I had done that differently. I wish that I didn't want the things that the world said that I wanted, because I never felt fully, like, satisfied with
Mm-hmm.
certain things. And again, my life, I look back on it now and I'm like, that was an incredible, incredible life. Why didn't I feel like that in the moment?
Yeah. That's kind of like what I meant when I talked about just being content in your season. Like that same idea. Like I look back and I'm like, that was such a sweet season. Like why did I not feel full like contentment there? And
Yeah.
it honestly comes from like pressures, I feel like, of the world.
hmm
Um yeah.
Because, I find it now with the way that we are raising our kids, is like, you and I have so much information about why we do the things that we do and don't do the things that we don't do. So, like, when our kids are asking us, like, oh, can I do this? Can I do that? We're like, here's why. Here's what we're
Mhm.
trying to accomplish. Here's the end result. Here's what we want to see to accomplish that. And I feel like that also comes from a place where we didn't have that when
Yeah.
we were growing up.
I actually had a conversation with someone this week, and she said parenting in this day and age is really hard because there's so much information out there. And I was like, you actually have a really good point. And I never really thought about it that way before. It's like one of those things, it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because thank God we have so much information, and thank God I think that we're living in a time where people are kind of changing the way that we do things, and I think it's really cool and all that. But I also think that there's a side that it can be very overwhelming. Like there's so much information out there that you're like, okay, but like what's right? But like, does this work for my kid? And like, it can be same with health and wellness. Like, it's amazing because we have access to so much information, so much research, so many people figuring things out. But on the other side, it can also be so overwhelming because you have to find what works for you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so it's just, a lot.
You're like a scientist when it comes to like the health and wellness. Like all of us, because it's at like our fingertips. I mean, you do got to find out like, does this work for me? Does that work for me? Does this work for me? Does that work for me? It's like, is that nicer or worse? I don't know.
Yeah, a scientist would probably be so offended that you said that right now.
I don't give a rip. I don't give a rip. All right, one more.
One more.
Oh yeah.
Um,
One more. I got so many things I
know.
regret.
So many. I would say what?
I got an idea.
Okay.
I actually thought about it too prematurely. How about like some fun? We can ask each other like fun questions, like two
what?
fun questions each. Like, do you wish that you had more tattoos?
Oh. No.
Do you wish you had like a different look? Like, do you ever? Because like you showed me a video today of Northwest. What was that her name?
Yeah. Yeah.
Northwest.
And her hair.
And her hair. Like, do you ever wish that you could be somebody who has like blue hair like that? Or,
Okay,
like,
so that's funny. That actually brings up a good fun one. Gosh, this episode could go in so many different directions with things, but for years, I wanted blue hair. Not like full head, like from the roots, but I wanted like blue in my hair, and I never did it. And that's one of those things that now as an adult, zero interest. You won't be seeing blue hair on me, but I wish I would have done it when I was young. Because there's like a very like short window when I feel like you can do that. And I mean, I have friends that have like red hair or different colored hairs. It's not that you can't. My sister's always done like all these different hair colors. It's not that you can't as an adult, but as a nurse, you have to have like, they have like rules on stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like you can't have tattoos showing, or you can't like have how do they word it, like unnatural hair colors or something like that.
Oh wow.
And so like there's certain times where like you can't really do that anymore, you know, depending on like your career. And so I wish I would have done that. Like if Scarlett were to come to me and say like, maybe not right now, but if she was maybe in high school, she's like, Mom, I want like blue highlights, I would probably let her. Because she has got a short window when she can do that.
What is the most extreme that you would do? Because your hair is like naturally like
now,
like a darker blonde or darker brown. What's like the most extreme you would do? Like all brown, black.
you're not gonna get nothing really extreme from me. I like the natural look.
Okay.
If I don't know, maybe like
let's say you hit a midlife crisis and you're like, I'm getting dangerous.
I don't know, maybe I'm like more on the blonde side, like adding more blonde to my hair or something. But I don't know.
Okay.
This is me.
Good.
Or I would do something like cut it. Like I would chop it.
You wanted to go real short.
I was
like
gonna go real
length.
short, yeah. So I would probably do something like that. Like I think short hair is, I don't know, I like it all. I think short hair is such a vibe, but so is long hair. So
yeah.
I
love your long hair. I've told you that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's why I started growing it out again.
Yeah, I want it all the way down to your feet.
Gross.
Can you imagine getting stuck in your toes?
Oh. Okay. Should I still share one more?
Oh yeah.
Because this is the one on my mind. I wish I would have taken school more seriously.
Okay.
Right away.
I always thought you did take school. You went further than
No,
I
man,
did.
I failed classes. Do you know that I failed stats like 3 times in college?
I touched a 3.0 one time.
And the thing is I was fully capable of passing that class. I just didn't give a rip.
Yeah.
And so I wish that I would have just gotten into school, like put my blinders on, got done what needed to get done, and like then I could have started my career sooner. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things. Again, I met some of my best friends in nursing school, so that obviously wouldn't have happened if I would have done everything sooner. Like there's totally a plan behind all of it, but if you are somebody, maybe you're in college or you're like returning back to school or whatever it is, I really encourage you to just get it done. Like, yes, I know that life has a lot of distractions, but if you have a goal in mind, just put in the work, get it done. Don't I don't know, don't delay it. And you know what? I just got hit with this too. It is also never too late. Like, if you are somebody who, like, maybe you want to go back to school, maybe you want to start a new career, maybe you want a new job, whatever it is never too late to change things. Like, I don't know where in society we feel like we've got to pick our career and stick with it and that's it. But, like, if you're unhappy where you're at, change it. And it's never too late. You could be 75 years old and go do the things that you dream of doing.
And I want to capitalize on that because there are some of us who come to the faith later in maybe you've already solidified your career. You have always been a believer, and then your relationship with God got stronger, and you feel this urge and this nudge and stuff. A book that I just absolutely swear by is called The Dream Giver, and it basically talks about how God is the one who puts those dreams within every single one of us. And somewhere along the line, we kind of fell in love with comfort, and we fell in love with safety, and we fell in love with what makes sense. And you want to get a good job with a good company that has good benefits and a good salary, and you want to live in a good home. You want all these little things, but that's not necessarily what God's saying. And to your point, there are going to be moments where God does tell you to take that promotion, or God does tell you to leave that job, tells you to take this class, or tells you to completely switch your major and do something different. But Tom, I'm supposed to honor my mother and father, and they want me to do this. I understand that, but maybe have that conversation with them. I think parents, all they want is what's best for the kids. But if the kid came to them and treated them like an adult and just said, hey, I really believe that this is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm supposed to do this, and this is why I'm supposed to do this, and all these different things, I think then a parent would kind of understand it if you explained it. It's one thing to say, I want to go backpacking across Europe for 3 years. It's like, whoa, hold on, why? Let's talk about this. And those things are just very important, because God, at the end of the day, God is speaking to every single one of us. It's just our job to listen. It's our job to carry it out, our job to do it. And so, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. My hindsight a little bit on that to kind of capitalize is like, I just wish I spent more time learning. I found out that I loved learning after I was done with school. I just realized that once I learned it, I realized it was the way that I was being taught, which is why I didn't really grasp school all that well.
Well, and you also might have not been learning about things that you actually care about.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Because that changes things, too.
Yeah, because
like
I can,
fascinated in something.
To this day, I can still remember certain things that teachers taught us that captivated me. Like an English teacher was talking about the air quality in Bakersfield, and he said like something to the effect of, can't remember if it was like living every day in Bakersfield's like smoking a pack of cigarettes a day or something like that. But I just remember that's how bad the air quality is here. Like that little example stuck with me. And then a handful of other teachers teaching me other things too from different classes. But I couldn't tell you anything else I learned from other teachers too.
Yeah.
And it is just something where that's a really good point. The things I cared about or didn't care about. And I just wish I just spent more time learning about the things I care about that caught my attention, and here I am, and I'm a little bit older, but to your point, I'm not too old.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
There's a lot of things, I think, in every single one of our lives that we can look back on, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love where we're at. I love the things that we've learned. Who was I telling? telling somebody the other day, like Justiane and I, we have laughed so much this last week, both with how mad we are at some of like the little ticks and little things that we do, but then also we've laughed at things that I don't know, just were funny.
Yeah.
They were just funny, whether we're quoting our kids or like looking at each other. I made a face the other night that in the car that you laughed pretty hard at, but it was like in the middle of like a little tiff. But it is one of those things where you grow and you learn. And so hopefully you guys can learn from our examples,
hopefully
our
they
mistakes.
help you, but also just know that like what's really cool about God too is that he will use everything. So the same way we sit here on this platform and we say like, this is what we wish we would have done different. You know, God will use that to hopefully help influence or inspire or, you know, help you guys that are listening. But I'll never forget one time I had experienced something that was really hard and something I was just kind of ashamed of and didn't like to talk about. And I had this girl come to me and she experienced like a very similar situation. And I just got to like pour like my heart out to her and pour life into her. And I remember having this realization in that moment, like God will literally use absolutely everything. Like any challenge that you've experienced in your life, God will use it to further his kingdom, to help people, to encourage, even if it's simply just to draw you closer to him. So that was kind of a fun episode, just sharing little things. I feel like we could go on, but we hope that you guys got something and we appreciate you being here. Happy February.
Happy February. If you are local, there is a coffee place called Beanie's Coffee
I meant
Roasters.
to say this at the beginning of the episode.
And
good job.
Thank you. And they just, some friends of ours, Allie has been on here. She has that podcast we mentioned called Literally Same. Beanie's, the coffee roaster, and they teamed up and they have 2 flavors. There is
3.
Oh, what's the third one?
I think one of them is just like a vanilla latte with the raspberry cold foam. And then there's the matcha with the raspberry cold foam. And then the mocha.
Their Beanie's Coffee Roaster. I was there the other day, and long story short, they were like, you need to have our matcha because it's really, really good. And I was like, okay, I've had seaweed before. Like I know. Dude, their matcha's bomb.
So good. And
I'm not going to get it again.
Raspberry cold foam.
Yeah, I'm not a matcha guy, but I'm saying like if you got me a matcha from there, I would drink the entire thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so stop by.
It's all month long.
All of the month of February if you are in Bakersfield. And then, stop by faithovercomfort.com, pick up a t-shirt. We have the Stalwart shirts. We have the Hate Evil, Love People hats. Mm-hmm. And then thank you for following us and sticking along. And if you liked this video, please follow us on Spotify, follow us, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. You can also stay up to date with us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I don't know how TikTok is working because we have a handful of videos on there that have 0 views, and then there's just one random video.
Out us like that?
Well, check this out though. It doesn't make sense to me. And then one video just has like 87 views, and none, like, it just doesn't make any sense. And for the record, I have been fighting with TikTok.
Maybe they actually were like, we don't like this guy.
Yeah, it might be me, but it just doesn't make sense because the other platforms aren't performing like that. And so, anyways, I don't know. Maybe you guys have some answers. You can let us know. But yeah, stay up to date with us. Take us with you. Take us with you wherever you go. But above all, this week, choose your faith over your comfort. God loves us. He's for us. And he searches the world to strongly support us.
Yep.
So we love you guys.
Love you.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.